Hi everybody, welcome back to MD Fly Fishing. Been out to my local river again. Catch rate is going down, I'll speak about that later, but went down today to try a new fly. Bit like a beaded spider but with a flexi-floss tail. Now I can go down there and fish streamers, I can go down there and fish nymphs, I can do Euro nymphing, but I don't want to. I've got access to this river 365 days a year like I have with my reservoirs. So it's only pennies a day I'm paying for this so I can try out different flies, and that's what I intend to do today. Straightforward, sink tip line, 12-foot leader, put one single fly on and I cast it to the far bank, bringing it back, fast figure of 8, slow figure of 8, 12-inch strips, 6-inch strips. I had a number of fish take it, but I think they might have been grabbing the tail more than anything else. But it wasn't too long, I got myself a fish. We're on. Only a little. Took me by surprise. And he's off. So I'll come back to the Calder about the fish stocks a bit later, but I went out to Pennine to try another new fly called the Japanese beetle. Now I'd used it only about a week previous to this, but I was fishing it all wrong. I was fishing it too fast and the fish just sussed it, knew it wasn't real. So this time I slowed it down, very slow figure of 8, sometimes increasing it, and that's when the fish started to take it. I had some nice rainbows, I had a nice brown trout, and I took 2 surprise fish as well, and you'll see them at the end of the video. So this is the first fish on. For some reason the hookup just wasn't on film. So anyway, let's land this one. This fish was actually coming in quite strange. Some moments, like at the very beginning, it was like just still in the water and I was having to turn it, but whatever I did, didn't turn it. That's why I was taking it so easy, because I thought it might be bigger than what it is, and I was only on a very light tippet for these. But then it started to waken up, putting more pressure on my rod, and again it only came out at about £3, but today was really hot and sunny. Even Andy said to me before I started fishing, it's going to be a hot one. Usually I quite struggle in them situations, but the Japanese beetle got me 5 fish. As I say, 2 surprise fish at the end, but they all count because they all ended up in the net. But yeah, this one very lethargic I'd say, but the next one mega fight on. Quite surprised and very happy. Got myself another brown. I did move around the fishery. Started off on the left hand side down the concrete bank, but it was more productive to where I actually was. So I didn't move for at least about an hour and a half, 2 hours from this area. As I said, it was hot, baking, but there were fish out there smashing the water. And I know, don't go for them, go for the ones underneath them, the ones that are in the cooler water. So we decided to switch to my left. There'd been a bit of movement over there, so I thought, put this on the water, let's see how we get on. On the second cast, a fish took it. It is quite shallow over there. It's only about 5-6 foot deep, but even when I was bucking in, I was looking in that area and there were some 5-6 pound fish just swimming around by the hut. So at some point I had to have a go at them, and it's illegal to fish right by the hut. That's why I'm casting so far towards it and I'm just bringing it down that banking. So let's land this fish, and surprise surprise, got myself a brownie. That's 2 in a month, when before I've only caught 1 in about a year. So the beetle was working quite well for me today. As I said earlier, there is a video on how to create one if you wish, but like fishing here, the fish don't come in easy. And with that, many a time, I haven't kept full contact on it. Andy always says, bring them in hard. But with this weather, I didn't want to stress any of them out too much, so I was just bringing them in at with reasonable force, not giving it too much, just dragging it in. It's not the way to go. And again, resting the fish, letting it recoup before letting it go. Again today, I think there's only about 10 of us on the water. so there was spaces to go around. In fact, I met a gentleman on the other side of the water just as I was leaving. I explained what we're using and gave him 3 or 4 of the Japanese beetles to try out, because I think he was here for the full day. I was only here for the morning, but quite happy with it. Apparently it's quite good on the river as well. Back to this one. Let's get it netted, let's get it rested, let's release it. So no change in tactics, no change in my position, except this time I was casting out to my front, floating line, 14-foot leader, single Japanese beetle, letting it bob around on the surface, bringing it in, slow figure of 8. A number of other fish were interested and went for it, but not all contacts are going to result in you striking into a fish. But it wasn't too long, got myself another fish. Quite an aggressive take as well. I apologise for the view you get on this one. You've got more of my hut, or the peak of my hut, than actually what happened in front. My little sidekick Thomas wasn't with me today. But going back to the river, been 4 times, caught 2 fish on my first visit, caught 1 fish on my second visit, caught no fish on my 3rd visit, and hooked into 1 fish today. Even some of the other people I've seen up and down the water. But one thing is surprising: rapid decline of fish in the area where I fish. I know it's not policed and it's open to the public, but I believe, and the club rules are, all fish are to be returned. But I think somewhere down the line that is not happening. And over this stretch, if you've got a set number of fish and some are being removed, it won't be long before there is not many fish in this area. I know they will come up and down the river. So anyway, let's get this one in the net. We'll hook into our 2 surprise fish at the end. Besides brown trout, rainbow trout and blue trout, there's actually a lot of coarse fish in here, and at the end of the day the trout dropped off and I started catching roach, and I caught a couple of roach on the Japanese beetle. Fair enough, they didn't fight as much as the other fish, but 2 fish on a Japanese beetle. So I'll let you watch these 2 out. Thanks very much for watching, thanks for subscribing, thanks for all the comments. As I always say, this is me and my days out. I'm an enthusiastic amateur. But thanks very much for watching, everybody, and I'll catch you all soon. Come on, you little monkey. Where are you? Look, yeah, let me go, just hang fire. Roach. Yeah. Yes, probably further down.